and the ancestors are looking out for us. God Hayes is exposing them, man.
Okay, you see that chair right there? See how big it is?
Yeah.
Now look at the Pope chair under it. Scroll down, look at the Pope chair under it.
Never have it been made so clear.
Young TV. Young.
We running the game right now.
Young TV.
Time to take over.
Young
We the hottest in the game. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button. If you just not tuned in.
TV.
Share, like on your Instagram, Facebook.
Young TV.
If you tuned in, we broadcasting live from 2030, baby.
Young TV. Young
Taking over the game, baby. Oh yeah.
Young TV.
Hit that like.
Young TV.
Get them likes up in the air, you heard me?
Young TV.
Ride by. Hotel Islam.
Young TV.
Assalamu alaikum. Flown letter.
Young TV.
Hit that like.
We brought you back tonight for more. This is about to be creepy, man. Like, I don't know, like a lot of people, if you're creeped out, it ain't like no crazy pictures and then, but like the storylines that they gotta tell you about how these people feel about clones is gonna be like creeped out, creepy. So if you're easily creeped out, you want to get off now because this is about to get lit. Now, we put out the tape, Operation Sidekick, which is a military, all these are military operations, keep in mind. This is a military operation, a covert operation through dark programs, warfare, a form of a warfare. So you got Operation Sidekick, Operation Cabbage Patch. We just put that out. If you watch Operation Cabbage Patch on, that's dealing around with white supremacy and create and it actually, the Operation Cabbage Patch actually starts with Hitler. Hitler started it with Ashtar Commands giving him technology for the cloning and the test tube babies, because Ashtar Commands are test tube babies. You don't know who Ashtar Command is? Go to my playlist called Different Extraterrestrials, and you'll go throw down to Ashtar Command. They call themselves the Plateians, but they're not original Plateians. They are originally from Cyrus B, because Cyrus B burned out. That's how they got the name Ashtar Command applied to them. With a Native Airborne Regiment, the Great White Brotherhood is what they call themselves. The same ones who influenced Hitler to create a superior race. The same ones who influenced Yaku, going all the way back to Yaku, to create this superior race. So the idea of the Cabbage Patch Kids was to create a certain type of superior race and then increase, because they lie on the census and say that the lesser people is us and they got more people. And that's been the biggest game going the whole time, that they outnumber us. And then they even did this cloning baby Cabbage Patch thing to try to get their numbers up higher than us. But if you want to go get more on the Cabbage Patch thing, watch the tape we just put out called the Operation Cabbage Patch. Then we also, and we got all these tapes in the link in the descriptions. We also got Cloning Part 1 and Cloning Part 2 and Part 3. And this tape is kind of a combination of all those tapes, all the 5 tapes I just named just like an overview on the cloning thing. For people that say cloning is not real, they might be leaving out of here tonight saying, "Oh man, it's too real for TV," right? So we got clips, we got names, we got times, we got dates, we got secrets to be revealed. Some people are saying, "Man, how do young elder know all these operations about when we can't have Google half of this stuff?" Hey man, look up a thing called the Akashic Records. Look up, and how can you hide anything when the Akashic Records you can go in and check it right out and see what everything that went down, and then you'll put it together. We got tapes on the Akashic Records in the Ascension Manual class for you newcomers. I'm actually in the process of creating a newcomers playlist too. But we got for you new people, we got playlists on just about anything you can think of. Help classes, Islam, Christianity, Judaism, the Anunnakis, aliens, secret government, the Pump for Trump, why don't you playlist. We got rap music. We got tapes with the Phenomenon Young Phase 1. A whole playlist just with me and Phase. And then we got one with me and Rod Hayes. But me and Rod got about almost 500 tapes out right now. Of hours of long tapes of just breaking and cracking codes. So, you know, but now that we gave it, we got enough people that came in. Now let's roll that first clip. This about to get good on Friday night right here. Get on TV, man. Go on, hit that like, hit that subscribe button, man.
In ending the long era of conflict and Cold War's founders.
Order. Now that's the New World Order. You already know about George W. Bush Sr., who was the head of the CIA, and he goes all the way back to the Prescotts, who connects back to the Rockefellers, dealing with the oil and the steel. And then also Big Bush ran the CIA, became president. He pretty much puppeted all the presidents up until now, to all the way up until Obama from Ronald Reagan. Right? But they want the first. So keep in mind, this whole thing is about a new world order. Right? That's what they're telling us. So all the cloning is dealing around new world order. At first, it was for body parts. Now, for all you people that think that they don't know about cloning or there's no such thing, the government seems to think so. Let's play a couple clips.
The use of embryos to clone is wrong. We should not, as a society, grow life to destroy it. And that's exactly what's taking place. And I have made that position very clear. I haven't changed my mind, and this evidence today that they're trying to achieve that objective, to grow an embryo in order to extract a stem cell in order for that embryo to die, is bad public policy. Not only that, it's morally wrong in my opinion. Yeah.
He was studying everything. He was lying. But he not lying about they doing the clones. He lying about like he don't agree with it. He already know they've been cloning since Operation Cabbage Patch, and they've been cloning since Hitler. Hitler is when they got the Project Paperclip over here. That's when they got more technology on it. Go watch a movie called Boys from Brazil. Go watch a movie called The Island, and there's other movies out like The Surrogate with Bruce Willis. I think that's in that movie. So they've been cloning, and he know about it, right? Because he got clones. He got clones, doubles. They've been creating clones for the presidents. Every president has at least 7 clones. Every president has 7 clones since Jimmy Carter. That's what Doc said. I think he mentioned that in the book Man from Planet Riz. Every president since Jimmy Carter has 7 clones, right? And I even seen some of Donald Trump clones. I even seen some of the clones, some of his clones in Ram State. It was a video that I had did a long time ago that I had posted of it, but I got flagged for it and they took it down and I couldn't find the video no more of Donald Trump. It was a couple more in there too, a couple more celebrities clones. Right, but let's play another one. Since you think if you think George W. Bush telling a joke, listen to this one. Now you see that was two presidents, one before the other. Clinton came before Bush, but Clinton said that, hey, so if cloning not real, why are they trying to say it? And then this is before this, they didn't have no laws banning it during the time when they was doing the Operation Sidekick and Operation Cabbage Patch. They didn't have really no laws banning it. These guys just not coming out speaking out saying, oh, you can't, we shouldn't be able to do it, but they are already doing it. That's why you speak it. That's why they speaking on it. So once you come to the realization that it's clone humans walking around, and these people are so sick. Let me tell you how sick these people is. The billionaires, boys club. After a while, they start want to play sick, twisted games. They created Nickelodeon, and they started creating clones to play some of the roles. Really, most of them were clones. Most of the people at Nickelodeon was clones. I'm starting to think Drake is from this pool. They're from the Nickelodeon clone pool. Now, if you think I'm talking crazy, let's get crazy and let's play this tape about what I'm talking about.
You have kids at home, this next segment is for you. This Friday, the newest batch of Disney Channel stars grown in the Disney Genetic Engineering Lab will be unveiled to the public.
Right. Now, Tracy, most of our viewers are already familiar with a lot of the products that have come out of the Disney Lab. Yes. But how exactly do you create a Hilary Duff or a Miley Cyrus from scratch? Right. Well, we're going to find out exactly how it's done right now, because joining us live from the Disney Lab is one of their lead geneticists, Dr. Andrew Rourke. Welcome, Dr. Rourke. There's quite an operation you've got going on out there.
Thanks, Jim.
So the stars that we see on TV are actually grown right here?
That's correct. They're grown and developed here. We engineer their brains for advanced singing and dancing capabilities, even posing for photos. By the time they grow to desired size, these child stars are fully ready for the camera or the concert tours or whatever Disney chooses to put them in.
That is simply amazing. Now, how long does it take to actually create a star from scratch?
Well, not very long at all. We use the exact same DNA structure for all of our stars, and then we simply tweak minor details like hair color or skin tone.
Right, yeah, we do have some footage here of some of the well-known creations that have come out of your lab. Let's take a look.
Yes, well, that's model 6831-A, publicly known as Mitchell Musso, standard male base with a type 3 skin pigmentation.
Wow.
And that's model 6831-B. We give him slightly thicker eyebrows and type 5 skin.
Well, so it's sort of like putting a puzzle together there.
Exactly.
Okay, here we've got some of the images of some of the newest models. We're going to be seeing a lot of these kids in the future.
It really looks like you have someone for every kid in America to love you.
Follow for more.
And it was creating clones, people, little kids, and altering their brain frequency to be able to sing and dance and jingle for the Nickelodeon. That's who these people are, man. That's how sick and twisted they get. Now we got more. So, but if you think you can't handle, your stomach can't handle that was light. If you think your stomach can't handle,
yeah, we do have some footage here of some of the. Yeah, we do have some footage here of some of the well-known creations that have come out of your lab. Let's take a look.
Yes, well, that's model 6831-A, publicly known as Mitchell Musso, standard male base with...
That's pretty much with the same thing he just said in the other video, but they going as far as to create kids just to play in the movies, man, in the Nickelodeon show. Let's see what we got right here.
What are we? You're clones. You're copies of people out here in the world.
In your face.
The whole reason you exist is because everyone wants to live forever. It's the new American dream. Why do you think Merrick has you stuck in an old military bunker below ground? He doesn't want anybody knowing the truth.
Probably gonna die for this somewhere along the lines. It's not good. Okay. Picture this. I'm memory repressed about everything. Couldn't remember anything. I'm still getting side effects from this. I was memory repressed about the cloning stuff until I was 30 years old. They call it the awakening when they give you back the memories. Turns out they had me there since I was 5 years old. Okay, and my family's there, my family members and everything, and they said they're not going to lie on a lie detector test about it. It's pretty big. Like, they were going to kill me, they said. Thing is, the way that this cloning works, okay, there's two different kinds of cloning, and it confuses people. Now, there's replication cloning, where it comes up as a baby, right? Put the cells in, make the same person as a baby. Well, there's duplication cloning as well, where they grow you in a big, thick tank, full of water. And, well, there's a few different grades of cloning. There's Mark 1 to 4 that I know of. And the problem I'm having is with the Mark 2. The thing is, Mark 1 was around at the end of the World War II, but it was a primitive clone, lots of side effects. Anyway, this is even on the net. Before I started blasting on the net about this, somebody said something about the Mark 1 to 4.
And so based on what Donald Marshall is saying, that it's different genes of these clones. You got Mark 1, which is like the first ones they would have after World War II. So some of them babies probably had mysterious deaths out of the Cabbage Patch because they were malfunctional. Mark 1s, and then they put more in the 80s. I know they started it back up a little bit in the 80s, the Cabbage Patch operation, and they put more babies on the streets in the 80s, in the adoption ring in the 80s. Right? So it really never started, just went underground. But like, so, but like what he said, like Mark 2 clones, Mark 5, Mark 4 clones, that's what the government is using. They get into REM state, deep sleep, and then use their Mark 5 clone, Mark 4 clone to walk around and talk on TV with. I think Donna Marshall gonna get more into that. Let's play another clip.
Okay, the cloning station is like a small sports venue, like a dog and pony show, right? It's got stands seated about 400, 450, but there's different cloning stations in different deep underground bases. But all the celebrities go to an above ground one in a wildlife preserve somewhere, and it's just like an oval sports venue with underground stuff where they grow them and store them on racks 5 high, like bunk beds 5 high, stainless steel. Now, Britney Spears put in her video, she said a fantasy of hers was to blow up a cloning station so they couldn't make any more hers, right? So for this video called Break the Ice, she made a Japanimation video of her breaking into a cloning station and breaking the clone tubes. And they look just like that, right? And 2 on 2, like one on top of each other. They have warehouses underground with them growing people, right? And, oh man, it's very heavy.
Is implanted into the base of the neck, and all of your information, like where you're from, all your
about to play is a tape of them already. They pretty much finna start selling clones to the public now. They already was, the elites was privy to it at first. Now I think it's about 20. She gonna say in this tape, I think, but they already really, if you got enough money and you're not part of the elites, if you got a certain amount of money, you could buy a clone now, a clone wife. So you ain't gonna have to go look for a wife no more. You can get a custom made wife for about $2 million, $3 million starting out. And then eventually it's going to go down. And they're going to do this before they roll out the robots. The robot is the nick. Right? They're going to have robots, 6 robots. They already got that already. Really, the elites already got all this. But check this video out.
Is implanted into the base of the neck, and all of your information, like where you're from, all your experiences, your emotion, who you know, are downloaded onto a DHF called Digital Human Frame. The DHF can then be transferred into one of our organically made sleeves of your choice, and you can basically have your conscious mind but in a different physical body. So our sleeves typically last 1 to 100 years. We do different facial features, different body structures, anything you like. The sleeve can do any physical function that you can do, like run, eat, sleep, breathe, burn, drown, anything you can think of, the sleeve can do.
See the movie called Surrogate with Bruce Willis. That's pretty much what they finna roll out right now. That she's talking about the surrogates, where you could transfer your consciousness to a body and walk around with it. And then you saw in the movie where all of them dropped dead when they just hit a switch. they was able to cut them off. Y'all go watch a movie. It's called, like I say, The Surrogate.
Yeah, we do have some footage here of some of the well-known.
The way that they do it, they can only put you into one of these kind of clones. It's called a Mark II REM driven clone. They can only put you into one of these clones when you're fully into REM sleep, which happens like after about an hour and a half after you fall asleep. You go into REM sleep. They just have a machine next to your clone that's on a rack, and it's laying there like a dead body, breathing real shallow and stuff, and it's got a feeding tube down the throat, and when a light comes on a machine next to your clone, it says this light says that you're in REM sleep, full in REM sleep, and they can activate you then. If they activate you before that, you'll be all disoriented and go psycho and stuff. But yeah. So they go over just like a TV remote control looking thing, look over and they point at him and press a button. Usually they have one designated to just that person, you know, tuned in on just them. And then the person just goes, looks around, and like me, I say, damn, I'm in this place again. But some of them are so used to it, and some of them like going there and hanging around there. They're so used to it, they pull this transparent tube right out of their mouth, and they hop off the bunk, and they're like, so, what are we doing tonight? And then they walk out. They're naked too sometimes. They don't even care. Not bashful. They have no shame really at all. And you know, if you wake up in real life, your clone will drop limp to the floor.
Like
some
Avatar.
of the clones, their broken elbows, smash their heads off the concrete floor, so they always stay seated in the stands in case they ever wake up and they just fall over. When the clones aren't being used, like remember I told you they go limp and fall.
Right, like Avatar.
They get dragged out of the auditorium and taken below on a dolly, or just somebody throws somebody over their shoulder and takes them down to the racks. The racks are like multiple stainless steel bunk beds, sometimes 5 high, and they're all around. It's like a giant vampire crypt or something. There's all these bodies laying there.
Wow.
Well, I don't even know how the things live, because they even when not in use, they still breathe shallow and the heart still beats and stuff. When not in use, they put a tube down the clone's throat, a feeding tube, and you get fed this beige nutritional supplement, right? And when they come out, when they wake up and stuff, like when I've opened up my eyes there, they've already done it for me, and sometimes I'm clothed and already out somewhere, sitting somewhere, and then they activate me.
So pretty much they already got the technology, right? So pretty much they already got the technology for the what they showed you in the movie Avatar, where they can transfer the consciousness to an avatar. That's what the clone is. A clone is an avatar. So they can transfer their consciousness to that avatar. Is pretty much what he's saying. So like Doc said, when they show you something in a movie, they already 4 or 5 levels, 6 levels deeper than that. Right? So let's go to the next one.
And in the hybrid programs that I was associated with, they were cloning not only species like plants and animals, but they were also regenerating tissues of extraterrestrials and growing them and then cloning them. And then they started cloning humans a very long time ago. It's interesting now that in the news, after talking about this a few times, that now they're coming forward. China just has been doing it forever, but in their underground facilities, cloning people, cloning, of course, you heard about, they cloned the first primate. And hey, they can clone a primate. This verifies what I'm talking about. Well, they can definitely clone a human. And they're also growing humans for organs. But clones are everywhere. Human, extraterrestrial, they're wandering all over. You know, some people will refer to these as doppelgangers because they can grow a human to look like someone and mind program and implant them with circuitry and things like this. And they will really think they had this life and implant them into a business, or into whatever organization they want.
Well, is there a hidden agenda? Because you've just brought something up that just scares the living daylights out of me. To replace us with a clone, and who would know the difference?
This is one of the probably only times, George, that you got me on a negative part, because there is an agenda. There are hundreds of people being cloned in underground facilities in Australia and in some parts of the United States. There's no reason to, clone people and keep it a secret and make horrible experiments on these people and mind implant them.
We're primarily concerned about humans cloning human for their own purpose.
Right.
But what about ETs cloning humans?
I mean, it's possible. I'm not aware of any extraterrestrials that are, cloning humans. I am aware of extraterrestrial beings that are collecting DNA from humans.
That's been ongoing.
Ongoing, but for a good reason, not for a bad reason. They can make anything too. I mean, they're already at an advanced level of science that we would not understand to do that if they needed to.
Is a clone Emery basically human being identical to the clone? And so they eat, they sleep, they do everything that a human does?
No, because they're, they still have to go through the growing process. It's a lot of work.
You can't speed that up.
Well, they have sped it up. They can make a George Norrie in about 8 years, from baby to you.
Okay.
The problem is the brain cannot grow that fast as the body can. There seems to be a problem they're having with the brains.
What's the agenda? What's the mission here? The clone.
I don't know that agenda. I can just give you my opinion on it, that they would use it for a fear type thing, such as a fake alien invasion, definitely control, like a secret army, a secret group of assassins. It's very frightful just to know that they're doing this on a mass production conveyor belt is horrifying enough.
That the Chinese were doing cloning underground. You ever thought about how the Chinese got so many people, saying they got so many people over there? Because half of them be clones to build up their military to try to take over the world as part of the Han dynasty. We just saying, man. But some of that stuff he said, he don't know what he's talking about with half the stuff. I think he guessing on half the stuff. Well, at least 30% of what he said.
Allegations of Martin Lawrence being a clone after dying from stage 3 lymphoma are finally confirmed. Martin Lawrence started his comedy career in 1992 with a hit show called Martin. Unfortunately, in 2022, he was diagnosed with stage 3 lymphoma. He knew he was going to pass away, and he wrote in his will that he accepted to be cloned so that he can continue his work in the mainstream. Martin Lawrence's family has supported his decision and has accepted his clone as part of them. Unfortunately, the clone cannot withstand and is not the same as the original Martin Lawrence, for the clone does not have a soul. Now that the clone is doing interviews with Will Smith, it's being apparent and the world can see it's not the same Martin Lawrence. He's a lot different. His speech is different, he talks a lot slower, and he looks like he's doing bad. A lot of people are commenting like he's on drugs or something. But unfortunately, the truth is, Martin Lawrence is dead. He died in 2022, and we now have a clone.
Without Bernie. And they asked D.L. Hughley the same things. Hey, what is he saying? He's saying that we gotta expose this. Okay. They amped his chip up because the chip controlled every vital sign in your body. Bernie got real sick, went to the hospital. And they knew what was going on. Steve Harvey knew. D.L. Hughley knew. Said the Entertainer knew that they ratted him out. And he knew that death was coming. They knew death was coming. Bernie wasn't assured at the present time. But when he started getting real sick, he's saying, these motherfuckers doing this to me. But Bernie did tell his wife what was going on. And she been scared shitless ever since. And they didn't want him to tell her too much. So they turned it all the way up and killed him while he was in the hospital. And they didn't have to be there. They did it by remote control. That's how cloning works, and that's how the chip works. It works by remote. So somebody could have been acting like a janitor or acting like they dare to see their loved one, could have been sitting in a weight room and hit the remote to turn his chip up to send him to fatal, which is death. That's how Bernie Mac left here, being ratted out by Steve and D-Hell. All them niggas so fake, man.
So as we, talking, sometimes I forget that he's supposed to be in this disguise, and I keep calling him Mike. Right, and this little girl hears it. She's like, and she looks over, and I think she recognized him. Like, I really think she did. So then when I realized she was peeping, then I start calling him Dave.
That disguise to him was the burn victim look.
It was a disguise?
It was a disguise to him.
All right, before I'm gonna play that right there over. I want to give you like a little overview on that one. Now the one I'm about to play now is where Akon slip up and say that Michael Jackson's been using a disguise. Now remember I told you the elites got a military operation called Operation Facelift, where they use prosthetics. I'm gonna actually do a whole AI tape on it too. It's called Operation Facelift, where they use prosthetics. And they can wear a whole other face and look like a whole nother race. They black, they can look white. If they white, they can look black. It's even a guy right now going around on the internet calling himself the space guard, and he walking around looking like an alien with the prosthetics, right? And the prosthetic alien looked pretty good. The one, whoever doing his makeup looked pretty good. But they were using these masks. But Michael Jackson was a master of disguise. And Michael Jackson used the prosthetic Operation Facelift to move around and fake his death and all that. Listen to this.
And in the hybrid programs that I was associated with, they were cloning not only species like plants and animals, but they were also regenerating tissues of extra.
So as we, talking, sometimes I forget that he's supposed to be in this disguise, and I keep calling him Mike. Right, and this little girl hears it. She's like, and she looks over, and I think she recognized him. Like, I really think she did. So then when I realized she was peeping, then I start calling him Dave.
That disguise to him was the burn victim look.
It was a disguise?
It was a disguise to him.
So you grab the kids. They looking normal. Mike comes out. He has his disguise on,
How do you find out about you, Dave?
He heard about me, and he had contacted me.
Songs come at the strangest times. I could be walking through a park or something, and it'll just hit you. Every time I get a platinum album, it's never taken lightly on my behalf. I'm always honored, and it's great thanks,
They looking normal. Mike comes out. He has his disguise on.
That disguise to him was the burn victim.
And Dave, yes, that's his name.
So then when I realized she was peeping, then I start calling him Dave.
When you go about writing, what happens?
Songs come at the strangest times. I could be walking.
How do you find out about you, Dave?
He heard about me, and he had contacted me.
Now you see that one right there, that's Michael Jackson wearing the disguise, the prosthetic mask. Well, I'm trying to see how I scroll down on this joint. Might be the last joint that I had. Damn, I ain't the last joint. Oh, here we go. All right.
And when Michael was looking really, really bad, the clone body was breaking down because clones don't think like humans. Clones have to have people around them to tell them what they do because they get adolescence. They can't think properly. It's called handlers, right? So when Michael started to break down, his body was breaking down. His nose was artificial. I don't know if y'all noticed. Go back and Google Michael Jackson nose. It looks like a robot because it wasn't him. His whole head was a wig. It was a cap, because when they first cloned Michael, he didn't have any hair. It all burnt off in the Pepsi commercial. They put Michael in a capsule and cloned it. Brought him back 2 years as the clone, and Michael Jackson was watching all of this like, I can't believe they're doing this. So what happened to Michael? He just lived his life. Michael Jackson is still alive. He's already appeared on TV, but y'all didn't even know who he was. Go back and watch the CNN of Larry King, the guy with the glasses, with the real bad burnt victim that played like Michael Jackson saved him when he was a kid. That's Michael Jackson. It burned him so bad it disfigured him. It tore up his skin. It did everything to him. You understand what I'm telling you? And also, after Michael was cloned, the real Michael Jackson, they bleached his skin so he would look nothing like Michael. If you look at the dude who was on Larry King telling you about his childhood, how Michael Jackson helped him, he looks just like Michael. Just look at his eyes. That's Michael Jackson. He's disfigured. That's how he looked when he got done with the Pepsi commercial.
Joining us now here in Los Angeles, Miko Brando, who was with us almost every night after this untimely passing, longtime Michael Jackson friend attending the funeral, and Dave, yes, that's his name, Dave. He was David Rothenberg. He was set on fire in 1983, suffered, as you can see, terrible scars. Michael Jackson befriended him and paid for a lot of his surgeries. Dave is also attending the burial. Why Dave?
Well, to liberate myself from the confines of my father's criminality.
He caused the fire?
Yeah. He is a criminal, and he caused all this. To free myself of his name and his legacy, I decided to become my own person through changing my name.
How did he find out about you, Dave?
He heard about me, and he had contacted me and wanted to meet me.
How old were you at the time?
I was about 7 years old at the time.
And were you in the hospital?
I was not in the hospital at the time. I was in interim, back and forth from surgery.
Michael Jackson's been a cloning. I used to talk to Michael Jackson's been a cloning. I used to talk to him when I was a little kid. I thought it was really cool at first, but until I realized what he's like and what he's supposed to be, Michael Jackson isn't even dead. His body died, yeah. Now, Michael Jackson, he wanted to die. He wanted to go to the next body of some kind because he was doing this stuff called propanol, this injectable painkiller of some kind, and I guess it's really good feeling, but he was doing it all the time, like every day, and it started to mess him up. It gave him premature arthritis because he would lay around all day getting this stuff, and it messed him up, and he didn't want to get old anyway, and he supposedly, from what they told me, and from what I saw, although that could have been a trick of using clones, that wasn't even a real nose. He had this psychosis about his nose being big, which it was, but and he couldn't get a nose job because for some reason his nose holes, they'd have to really chop them up. But he reduced it in size, reduced it, but then after a while it started getting all a few different things that happens. The things that I've seen, like I've seen a couple of these kids that have gone missing, and what happens to them? Well, they get taken to be used for sex underground, of course, by either aliens or clones that are in this place, or real people that manage to get to these bases and go down to, mess with them. Some of them, they get eaten though. They get literally eaten, not by people, well, sometimes, but by aliens and stuff. They get eaten, literally eaten. Sometimes they just drain the blood out of them. Sometimes they eat the solids too. But see, some of the aliens, their favorite parts of solids, for the ones that do eat solids, some just drink blood, but the ones that eat solid, their favorite is brains and pancreas. They told me before themselves, they said pancreas to them tastes like cantaloupe.
Whoa.
Like, totally. Their sense of taste is so much different than ours.
Yeah.
A lot of the time, bad smells good to them. Like, they even like human excrement. It tastes like candy to them, depending on what the person's been eating. Yeah, they eat it. To them, it smells like flowers. Really, it's pleasant. They like it. It's like a treat to them.
I heard they get like a buzz off of like they scare the kid, right?
Oh yeah,
something like that, right? They scare him and then get a buzz.
Well, the thing is, you can do that with other people too. But when people get scared, and animals and stuff, like they put out adrenaline, adrenal glands, and then this does something through the blood that makes it taste richer to them. And thing is, the reason that they go to eat kids a lot is because kids don't have as many vaccinations, because some of these vaccinations can make them sick, and kids aren't smokers. They don't like the blood of smokers because it tastes, to them, they said it does taste like an ashtray or something in with the blood.
Sweet, I'm gonna start smoking.
Yeah, and yeah, they get a strange effect from the adrenaline. It gives them like a buzz. Like some of them have called.
Yeah. This is a upgraded tape from Donald Marshall. He looks like he about double his age that he was on the first one that he did. So I found this new one of him talking about giving updates on what's going on at the facilities with the cloning. Like I say, we got a lot of tapes in the descriptions. We put out like 2 tapes, Operation Sidekick, Operation Cabbage Patch, that go along with this tape. Let's roll them because we got a lot of clips here.
Mr. Hurtado admitted that he wanted to set the house on fire because he wanted to kill everybody inside.
Philemon Robert Hurtado set fire to his brother's house using gasoline early Tuesday morning after his brother went to work.
Philemon Hurtado, the man everyone said was a psycho. But what the news didn't say or report was that Philemon claimed he set fire to expose celebrity human trafficking and the cloning ring. Although it's deemed illegal, government warned any company participating in any sort of cloning will face full punishment.
Therefore, today I am issuing a directive that bans the use of any federal funds.
Guys, I am not trying to look like Nicki Minaj. She is trying to look like me. I didn't have plastic surgery. This is me. This is the way I was born. So please stop telling me I look like her, or I'm.
Now that chick there, we're gonna do another tape probably tomorrow or Sunday. Well, probably tomorrow because we're gonna be on Raw Sunday about doppelgangers, and that tape comes up in the doppelganger tape, right? But she looked exactly like Nicki Minaj. Let's roll that back,
guys. I am not trying to look like Nicki Minaj. She is trying to look like me. I didn't have plastic surgery. This is me. This is the way I was born. So please stop telling me I look like her, or I'm.
Yeah, so they look just alike, these girls. That she look like a doppelganger. And like I said, I want to do a tape called a doppelganger where everybody got at least 6 copies of themselves. And it goes back to the 7 templates that Inky and Mother Nitty was using on the album project. And then you got a couple more variations with them mixing in with us. So we'll get to that on another tape, but let's keep on
Over
going.
50% of the total population are clones. And see, we've been dealing.
Cloning, it's really normal. Well, Britney Spears made a video about this place because thing was, to get advertised and promoted and stuff, she had to basically sell her clone, use of her clone at the cloning center. So the thing was, she signed up right away thinking, yeah, sure, I'll be famous. Well, thing is, they wanted to use her every night. Old men and stuff, old men and clones on her, and real people on her clones too.
Explained what he was talking about right there. All right, so these sick, rich, geezer, greasy, sleazy, old, bumpy skinned old man who can't really get a girl, but they billionaires and they want to get a girl to do whatever they say, but they want to spend time with Britney Spears. But Britney Spears, the real Britney Spears, didn't want to spend time with them. Or the real Beyonce, or the real Kelly Rowland, or the real who else they got? Because they got a whole bunch of people on that list. The real Amber Rose, she was one of the ones that they was cloning, making a lot of clones of. Amber Rose and Britney Spears were the two they were making a lot of clones of. And Kim Kardashian. Them three right there, the old geezers, it's old geezer that got a clone of all three of them. So what they would do is when they want to make love to these girls, but they can't get the real one, they will pay $2 million and order a clone because all these girls' DNA is on file. They get a percentage of the money from this deal. And they make clones of them. They ship the clone to these rich old geezers around the world to their yachts and their private islands, and they make love to a clone of Britney Spears or a clone of Kim Kardashian or a clone of Beyonce or a clone of whoever they got in that file. And most celebrities are all on that file. So that's pretty much what Donald was saying right there on that tape there.
Oh, and alien abductions. Let me tell you something. They videotape alien abductions. They set up alien abductions with Hollywood makeup and stuff. Like, not all of them. I can't say all of them. Some of them might be real for all I know. But I've seen the set. It's a really crappy looking saucer. You just walk up a ramp into it. They never see the outside of it. But they clone people, right? And then activate them when they're on the slab strapped down. Now someone goes in with a gray mask and the mask is made of chicken skin, okay? Just to give it that aspect of realism, dyed gray chicken skin, so it'll look real. And does it look real? Stretched over a mask, right? And they have the mask on. They go in and have sex with the people, and they videotape it and the people's faces to see their reactions and stuff. It's the government and celebrities doing this to people.
Some people, they set up a camera to watch them sleep because they figured they were getting abducted, taken out of their house, teleported even. They don't know how that was happening. They didn't even know it was clones. They thought it was their real body because it feels real. It was very clear. It'd be very easy to get fooled that way. So they set up a camera. They go to sleep. Blink, they get zonked into the cloning center, consciousness transfer into the clone, and they're like, oh, good, I got the camera set up though. Whatever happened, I'm going to see it when they bounce me back. They go back and they were sleeping in their bed the entire night, of course, right?
Right.
And then they can't explain it, but now you know.
He's saying so some of the alien abductions were faked by the government using clones and mind control technology. What they would do is kidnap somebody, right, in a certain type of way, and then take them into a Hollywood-made UFO, and they would wake up on the inside of the UFO. They would come in there with a mask on, kind of like Space Guard got, like this dude that's going around, the alien dude in Atlanta. Like they would come up in there looking like him and rape the person and film it, and to just get how they get the energy on how they look and how they feel by being being gang raped by two aliens, and they would make porno out of it. Seemed like porno movies out of this type of stuff, and film for snuff and sell it on the dark market. These guys. So it's these guys way creepy than what you think. These guys get real creepy.
But they've done this, like,
You said that they've got a facility. Do you know where that facility is? Is there an address or a building? Or?
Yes. Well, they're in deep bases, right? Like this Dulce base. It has an entire floor devoted to cloning, okay? Now, it also has another floor devoted to gene splicing. You should see some of the stuff I've seen. Beaver, rats, and all kinds of stuff. They're trying to make weapons for war, and they showed me everything. They thought I was loyal. They started showing me everything. They totally thought I was loyal. I know that the cloning center that I go to, the one above ground for the rich people, they like the above ground ones because the underground dumps smell like hospital, right? The cloning center is within 5 hours drive by car in a radius around the Picton farm, because they would speed drive these murder videos from the Picton farm to the cloning station to be watched by everyone at this cloning station. And I remember being there and waiting because they said bring another video from the farm, and I timed it, and I even asked them what time it was. Like, kept on asking what time it was because
the movie about the island, about the girl and the dude escaping. That movie is kind of stimulated around Donald Marshall's story about escaping from the island, right? And Dawsey Air Force Base is one of the places where they started the cloning project as far as the United States, because they got after Adolf Hitler, after they got some of the technology from Adolf Hitler's scientist project Paperclip, they got some more upgrades to make them, to start making a better Mark. Like you got Mark 1, then you got Gen 2, Mark 2, Mark 3, Mark 4. They started getting better at that cloning when they got more technology from the grades at Dawsey with Eisenhower, with the meeting from Eisenhower. Right? Here we go.
Decapitated in front of us. They called him Pilot Boy because he had 19 pilots in Hollywood and everybody passed on him and said his show wasn't worth it. Then when he made $500 million, they said even though his contract said he should get half of it, they said he made too much for the contract to be valid, so we'll offer you 10% of what you made. You mean he made $500 million and they offered him 50? Yes. And he said, what do you think my fans are gonna say when they find out you offered me 10% of what I made you? And they said, your fans will believe that you're a crazy crackhead by the time you get home. He got on the flight in LA, and by the time he got to Ohio, it was so. Dave Chappelle was decapitated.
So, Cat Williams saying that Dave Chappelle, when he got decapitated and they faked the trip to Africa and then came out with his clone. Now we got his cousin and a whole bunch of other people verifying. They didn't verify the part about him being decapitated, but they just verified that Dave Chappelle ain't the same Chappelle no more. Right?
There's a lot of stuff underground. Like, I'm not certain of it.
What very often occurs is that an elite will get to a very old, ripe age, or they will die, or they will die in some sort of an accident publicly. Privately, they are taken, and depending on their level, they are either age regressed or they have their consciousness basically downloaded into a clone that is an exact duplicate of them. They then disappear from the public eye forever and go into these programs or go into retirement. This is something that pops up a lot in the programs, and everyone that is served deeply knows that the elite have access, and many of them never really die.
When the queen died and they had to break her wand, the reason why they had to break, break her warrant is because I believe it was an inside job to keep her from switching bodies. So technically, she was supposed to be able to, they were supposed to take her emergency nurses and handlers were supposed to take her to the cloning facility so she could switch bodies. But I guess somebody in her family, the conspired group within her family, they wanted her to go away. So some kind of way they made it to where she couldn't get to the clone, and they couldn't switch her her consciousness to the other body before the certain amount of time. They got 24 hours to do it. But Nubians, they got melanin. They can, as long as they do it before 72 hours, as long as you do it before 72 hours, you can switch avatars. And Anana talk about that. Anana talk about that in her books about how and some of the magical people or the Magi priests talk about raising people from the dead. And remember, they put it into the Bible where they talk about Jesus raised Lazarus in it was 3 days past 72 hours, right? So they leave the Seans had these rituals where they raised people from the dead. This mystic group, these Magi guys, right? And so it's some and I know some people who have came back alive from the dead. I know a dude that they had him in the casket, right? And they was taking him. Now he wasn't in the casket. They had put him in the bag, and he was in the back of the hearse. And they was taking him to the funeral home to get ready to embalm him and everything. And he had supposedly been dead for over like 72 hours, like 48 hours, 72 hours. Boom. And dude came back alive inside of the hearse while they were driving on the interstate. Now listen to this. The people who were one of the dudes that was driving, the dude that was driving, he crashed the car and had a heart attack and died. He had a heart attack and died, the dude that was driving the hearse. And they had his funeral the next week. And the dude that was in the body bag died, that's supposed to have been dead. He was still alive. And the passenger dude that was with him, he got on the interstate and took off running and almost got hit by a car. Yeah, man. Yeah, so this really happened in real life down in my city, man. So, yeah, so it's some kind of ritual about the 72-hour thing where they could get you back to your body or a new body that they could keep you here on this plane in this reality. Because once the 72 hours is up, you go to another reality. And sometimes they can have to wait 150 years before they can pull you back to this side of the mirror. They call it reincarnations, right? Some people, some mystic orders. Well, let's keep going.
How's Kanye? You have
well,
love for him?
I met like 5 or 6 different Kanye.
Do you remember when he was a nerd?
The first four was awesome. The last 2 was a little bit.
Couldn't you be like, do a Steve Harvey, be like, enough of this foolishness?
No.
So he had to take things very serious and take the responsibility.
Around the world, you got at least one or two doppelgangers, bro. You know what that?
Now the next tape start my doppelganger tape, but I want to show you before I get out of here. I want to show you this clone, how they clone Shaq. Matter of fact, let me play these. It's a couple more videos I gotta play. Forget. I gotta play this one now. This is a video.
You have kids at home. This next segment.
The next video is a video of LeBron James sitting at the Lakers game, watching his clone play a game. Watch this now. This is we think it's LeBron sitting watching his clone. This is how much cocky and confident and how much money these people got, these elites.
Who is that?
Look, I joke a lot, right? But look, LeBron dunks the ball. LeBron, right? Who is this? That's LeBron. Who is that? Who is that? Look at this. Look at this. You trying to tell me that's LeBron right there, right?
Who? Who is that?
Look, I joke a lot, right? But look, LeBron dunks the ball. LeBron, right? Who is this? That's LeBron. Who is that? Who is that? Look at this. Look at this. You trying to tell me is that's LeBron right there, right? Who is this? Right there, look. Right there. Who is this? I'm gonna break it. Eating popcorn.
Who is that?
Look, I joke a lot, right? But look, LeBron dunks the ball. LeBron, right?
It could have been a guy that looked just like LeBron, but man, it shows there's a lot of strange things happening. Michael Jackson was doing the same thing, watching his clone perform, going to his own funerals. These elites, man, some of them laugh in our face that we don't know the half of what's really going on behind the scenes. Right? I'm telling you, man, it's getting crazy. But let me show you another thing they did. I showed they kind of like messed up my screen last time. Now, this is the real Shaquille O'Neal when he played. Can y'all hear me? They ain't cutting me out, is it? This is the real Shaquille O'Neal when he played for the Suns. I don't know if y'all remember that. Right? And what they did is when Shaquille O'Neal got injured, the owners of the Suns ordered a clone of Shaquille O'Neal to play those couple games. Now you're gonna be able to see the difference. I'm gonna show you the clone. I'm gonna show you what the clone looked like. But remember the hair on Shaquille O'Neal's face because they had to rush this clone out. So when they grow them in these tubes, they don't have hair on their body. All right, so keep in mind this is the real Shaquille O'Neal. Now I'm gonna show you. Look at the eyes. Look at the eyes. Keep a look on how he looked. Remember this face. Now let's show you the clone. All right, this is the clone. Shaquille O'Neal right here that they brought back for them couple games while Shaquille O'Neal was hurt. Now you go get a side by side and you put them next to each other and you tell me is that Shaquille O'Neal right here. I just showed you the real one and this is the clone. What y'all think? Somebody drop it in the chat. Do they look like the clone? Do they look like the Shaq I just showed you? And if they had more than one, I can show you more. They had about 3 different clones that they made to rotate out of Shaq during them years, during that time he was playing with the Suns. Do they look like this? Do they look like this guy? Look at this guy right here. That's the real Shaq right there. Look how much bigger he is. Just look at how he look. He look like he got a soul, right? And then look at this chat. Which one you tell me? That's a clone right there. Man, go back and start watching some of them highlights of the games with the Shaq with no beard and there's no hair on him, and you'll see what I'm talking about. I'm telling you, man, you can't make stuff like this up. And look, they had more than one. They had more than one clone of Shaquille O'Neal playing with the Suns. And they saying right now, how does young elder know all of this? Man, the Akashic Records. You can't get mad at us. We don't got no contracts with y'all. So, they grow them in these tubes. And then they come out. It takes a while to develop the hair and all that. But they ain't had time for all that. So they brought them right out the tube. Get him right on the court, get him going. This is in their contracts to be able to do this. I wish I had a video of that LeBron James commercial, that Sprite commercial, because they used LeBron James clone for the Sprite commercial. The first Sprite commercial, not the first ones he was doing when he first got in the NBA. It said, "Look, I'm gonna find it, but I'm gonna come back on another tape, find that Sprite commercial where they use his clone." I'm telling you, man, go look it up. Go put up a picture of Shaquille O'Neal playing for the Suns and get both of these pictures put them side by side, and you tell me this ain't no clone. That's Shaquille O'Neal right there. That's the real one. This the clone. This another one of the clones right here. This another one of the clones. They had more than one clone, right? This one of the clones right here, and then this another one. But this is the one you can just tell, hey man, this is a clone right here. How you gonna come back with 2 games later and he looked like this after 2 games after he just looked like this? You know what I'm saying? His arms ain't even the same size. A man don't lose that. He much more skinnier, look younger. He look more younger, Shaquille O'Neal looking. Don't he? He look like he's 25, straight out the tube, straight out the test tube, man. I'm telling you, man. This is the type of stuff that the elites are doing behind our back. Who else we got? This Dave Chappelle right here. This is how Dave. This is what Dave looked like when he left. This is what Dave looked like when he came back from the tone. The tones even look different. I'm telling you, man. Remember they cloned Tyrone? They put a whole movie out about it. Supposedly all these people were cloned and replaced. Look at the tape we just put out called Operation Sidekick. It's a movie out called The Island. This is what the cover look like with these 2 people on it. It tell you about all the stuff I'm telling you about the billionaire elite cloning. I remember NBA YoungBoy was getting chased by the police, and the police had green uniforms on. Somebody was filming it, but that wasn't the police chasing him. That was the clone police. And like they told you in that tape, the Operation Sidekick, that they had kidnapped the real one, and then let his clone live his life for 6 months while they show him on a TV screen, the clone knocking down all his old ladies and hanging out with his folks. And then they take the clone off the streets and let the real one back home. But it's a warning to him that, hey, you could be replaced. Right? And usually most of them line out and don't speak on it. That's why old boy Green said nobody really speak on the cloning thing. Let me play him real quick. Because Green talk about it. Right here.
Right. Absolutely.
You know, if you go to Disney World, for instance, down there in the Haunted Mansion, you see the hologram, right? Or you know how to make a hologram. Well, our scientists have learned how to make people. They call them synthetics. Are you familiar with those?
Well, actually, we just interviewed John Lear, and he was talking about being in an audience in which they were given a lecture by a guy that they thought was real and found out later he was a hologram.
Well, it's a synthetic. A synthetics, when you touch their skin, it feels like plastic almost. That's the latest technique. The old techniques, if you guys can rent a video, The Boys from Brazil, rent it, because in it gives you the exact way how our government's been making people.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
and the Soviets have a different method called...
I mean, making people meaning temporary people?
No. Walking, talking ones.
Meaning through genetics? You're not talking about that?
Well, let me tell you. The movie shows it, but I'll share it with you right now.
All right.
All I need to do is take 2 cells off of your body, yours.
Uh-huh.
We give them a small electrical charge. I'm just they'll act like a fertilized egg. If I got a fertilized egg, all I need is a receiver in order to make it. So they were hypnotizing women, you know, said they were being invaded by aliens. And the fetus starts growing, right? Needs food. Well, they can use cows and sheep, too. Again, a food source. That's all we need. After about 14 weeks, all of a sudden that fetus is gone because they've learned to take, that's when the fetus starts developing its own blood supply. Then they've used a pituitary hormone extract that they have, which accelerates the being that grows. And the original technology was given to our government by the Greys. Now, the reason was that our scientists were all excited because we could have spare parts. If you need a heart or a liver or anything, you won't have any rejection. It's your own DNA, right?
Okay, because theoretically, if we have overpopulation, we don't need more people, right?
But the so-called elite are selecting on who they want to have around anyway. So if we want to keep people going as long as we can, I talked to the doctor that was working on regeneration of Castro, for instance,
right,
on the DNA sequencing, and they're just learning about this.
Well, my understanding is that a lot of presidents have already been replaced.
That's right.
Yeah,
I don't think
they're walking around. They look old, but they basically some of the people are just
I'll just
second,
give you
third
something
copies.
I'll give you something to ponder. Get some old videos of George Bush, when he first came into office. Look at the person and listen to him speak. Look at his actions and listen to everything that's there. Now, it's a lot easier to put somebody out in front to act as even Bush did. He had somebody else that was up there acting like he is and look like it. Even Hitler had he had his stand. In fact, his stand-in was the one that they found in the ground over in Germany. I mean, Hitler and Eva and the dog and 14 other people got aboard a plane and flew down to Barcelona, Spain. You were aware of that, and then ended up in Antarctica or in Swabenland, and then died a few years ago in Brazil.
That's what we heard. That's
I have all the documents from our own government.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a contact. One of our
Stalin
contacts.
Stalin asked for they tried to burn the body, and he got the body back, and he said, wait a minute, different ears, and the testicles were different and everything else, so they knew it wasn't Hitler.
But is it a clone or not?
Oh, now we're going about cloning. Cloning techniques, since 1938, they've been making clone people. There's 8 countries making clones. I have a doctor friend that all it does is treat the clones.
Where do you get your information?
I get it from some of the people that are willing to come forth, and they talk to me because they hope I'll put the information out, because they always got 2 people following them, and they may be killed. If I start talking about cloning too much, the people that get involved into that you disappear on it. So I don't go into too many more details, but there is information that's available. And it's more and more of that's coming on the line. I just told you, go rent the movie.
Okay, Boys from Brazil.
Yeah, and you'll see the whole technique on what they show it to you in different places, so you can imagine what it's going on.
Okay, so
now let's go to the next step, because this is the most important part.
All right.
If your physical reality that you have, based on this physical life that you have, this dream, is made up of the experiences that is impregnated on your body and in your mind, consciously, right? Mm-hmm. Your soul memory is another thing. Mm-hmm. It goes back whatever time that you elected to be in this incarnation for whatever reason. Now let's show you the division on these things. Since the body is very physical, and we just got you making a physical being in a few months for spare parts, they said, now we've got the perfect deal. How can we have that work better? Well, if you go to the hospital today and get an encephalogram, what's that? That's the memory of your conscious mind. It's on the CD. Let's download it on this being. Now we got a walking, talking duplicate that has the total memory that you have, because we just took it off of your own mind.
Okay, it's like Blade Runner, the android.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing is that it's like this DVD recorder. Sometimes you have glitches in it, so you have to have them tuned up occasionally or redone. And so we take them to Camp David, or there's a wing at Bethesda Hospital, to just tell you. If you go down there and check, you'll find the nurses, if they're willing to come forth, they'll tell you they work on those people, and they call them the others. I thought it was interesting. They're people. Remember, these people can think and act, but they don't have soul. That's also prophesized. Soulless
right, that's
beings.
True. That's true.
Now we have another agenda that's going on, so you have to be careful of all this. There are many extraterrestrials that would like to be in on the game right now, so they can sometimes will come into these physical beings that we've made to manipulate them.
I see.
So now you have a combination effort that you have to look at, and discernment. You have to discern what the game is. Well, just figure that most of the leaders we have in the world have been bought and paid for or created to think a certain way in the world.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you heard it there, man. And that's pretty much all we have for you. You can go check out those other tapes we got cloning part 1, 2, and 3, then Operation Cabbage Patch and Operation Sidekick would just break down what the stuff that he just said about the cloning the minds and all that. So we about to get up out of here. If you want to show us some love on the class, we dropped the cash apps in the link. Also, we still got the 8 books by the Young Elder for $45 donation to the Cash App or PayPal. What you do, you send $45 over, leave your emails in the links, and I'll send you the 8 books that I wrote to your Cash App. To your email and PDF form ASAP. So if you want to get those 8 books and you're new to the channel, we still got that going on. Peace and love, one love. Freedom Master Teacher Dr. Malachi Z. York. We out.
Never have it been made so clear.